All right, welcome to another episode of Financial Theory. Let's talk today about how to make money with real estate. Real estate is one of my favorite methods of making money. It's a classic, you can't deny it. All right, there's a couple different techniques that you can use to make money with real estate. Number one, the buy and hold strategy. Now, this is a classic. We all know Warren Buffett loves the buy and hold strategy. And for me, this is my favorite technique in making money with real estate as well. So the idea is simple: buying a real estate property in a good location. That's really the main thing, a good location. And if the property is in decent condition, then that's good. And then what you want to do is hold it long term, 5, 10, 20 years, and wait for it to appreciate in value. And in the meantime, put in a great tenant, one that preferably is not going to destroy your property, one that's going to be paying the rent regularly, and the tenant's going to give you cash flow in terms of the rental payments. The pros of this technique is it's low stress, you get predictable cash flow. Generally speaking, there's a low transaction and maintenance cost. Some of the cons of this technique is that your capital is trapped into this one asset. And the other thing is you got to wait a long time for the value to appreciate. Could be 5, 10 years at least. That's one method. The second method is the BRRRR method, BRRRR method. The BRRRR method is buy, rehabilitate, rent, refinance, repeat. With this method, instead of waiting for years for the price of the property to go up, you're taking matters into your own hands. What you want to do with the BRRRR method is you want to buy an older property, a distressed property, one that's not in the best condition, and then you fix it up, renovate it, and then you refinance after that, withdraw your money out, and then you can actually repeat the process again. So when you modernize the house, just small improvements can really drastically increase the price of the property. Just small cosmetic things like a paint job, flooring, kitchen hardware. Just these sort of things can drastically increase the value of the property a lot more than the cost of the renovation itself. Now, in my opinion, you can recycle the same 100, 150k deposit to buy multiple houses. This method is a lot faster than the buy and hold strategy. So you're building wealth in a stagnant or slow growth market. And by doing this, you're fast tracking everything. You're fast tracking your wealth. However, the cons of the BRRRR method is it's high risk. If your renovations go over budget or the bank's appraisal of your final property is a lot lower than what you thought it would be, your cash is going to stay stuck. And that's where the repeat step fails. Also, the other massive risk with this is if, let's say, the interest rate really spikes up when you're renovating, the long-term mortgage might be too high for you to actually have positive cash flow. So you actually might end up losing money. It depends how high the interest rates get, obviously. There is a rule with the BRRRR method, and it's the 70% rule. Your total investment, the purchase and the rehab, should not exceed 70% of the after repair value that the banks require for a smooth refinance. Say your renovated house is worth 600k, the purchase price plus the rehab should not cost any more than $420,000. Give yourself a 30% buffer, a margin of safety. All right, method number 3 to making money with real estate is to buy and then subdivide. So this is a very common technique as well, to buy a big piece of land and then subdivide it into many pieces of land, and then you can sell them individually and make way more money than selling the one big piece of land. So that's a very common technique, and it's called subdividing. Another example of this is to buy a piece of land and then knock down the old house that was on there and then subdivide it in 2 or 3 pieces of land, and then you can build 2 or 3 properties on there. So that's developing the property. So usually developers tend to aim for 15 to 25% net profit for this technique. Method number 4 to making money with real estate, it's called rentvesting. So the idea here is to continue renting in an expensive area, and then you can purchase a property, let's say in like a rural area where the prices will be a lot cheaper. This technique allows you to get your foot in the door and start owning property. And also this technique is valuable for people who like to maintain flexibility and their lifestyle. Let's say if you really like to live in the city, you can continue to rent there in the meantime and then buy a property in a rural area where it's be a lot cheaper. You'll still be able to at least build equity in the meantime and while maintaining your flexible lifestyle. So this is another really popular thing to do. All right, the fifth way of making money with real estate is through something called called REITs, R-E-I-T. If you're not familiar with REITs, so REITs just stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. So the idea here is if you want exposure to real estate without the hassle of being involved with tenants, you can just buy REITs. The REITs allow you to buy shares in a company that owns a massive real estate portfolio. It can be residential, commercial, or industrial. It doesn't really matter. So to do this, you would need some sort of brokerage account. Personally, I use Moomoo, but you can use any of them. There's so many of them to choose from. It's like buying shares. It's a lot cheaper to get in, obviously, because you're just buying a small fraction of the company. At least it allows you to make money from real estate. But obviously, you're not going to make as much money as buying a whole brand new house. So on the plus side, it is a lot cheaper to get your foot into the door. So if you want exposure to real estate without the hassle of dealing with tenants, going through REITs is a good thing. So one positive thing is you have high liquidity. You can buy and sell these shares just like any other shares in the stock market. So that's another great aspect of REITs. Just some important considerations. You got to keep your eye on the interest rate. So if the interest rate is too high, or if the interest rate is slowly starting to creep up, you got to do the calculations to work out if you can actually afford the repayments or not. It's very high risk if you do this, because let's say you borrow at your maximum capacity, and then as soon as you start having to pay the repayments and then interest rates start rocketing up, you are absolutely screwed. The bank's going to come in there and take your property away if you can't make those repayments. Be conservative. I would recommend 50 to 70% max of your capacity. Don't ever borrow to your maximum capacity because it's just way too dangerous. You got to learn to minimize your risk as well with investing. And that's where I think a lot of people go wrong, is they over leverage, and then when things don't go their way, they are screwed and they lose their property. And also capital works reductions, depreciation on the building. So negative gearing and capital works deduction, which is the depreciation on the building. Both of these are very powerful tools that you can use to minimize and decrease your tax bill. All right, I hope that this video has helped you, given you some sort of information to get started on investing in real estate property. Yeah, I would recommend doing your own research on this and just seeing what you feel is best for you and your situation. Everyone's situation is different, what people can afford, what people can't afford. So have fun with real estate investing, and I hope you guys make an absolute killing out there. If you enjoyed this video, give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, share, all that sort of stuff. I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya.